Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Social Extra. How are you doing? I'm Gianni. He's Ed. He's not a Hammers fan, despite that. But good to see you guys. This is an extra where we're going to be looking at new managers and the new manager bounce in FPL, which is absolutely massive. Let's list some of the teams with new managers because they're all winning games. Look at game week 12. Well, pretty much, I think they all won. So Conte at Spurs, he won his first game. Gerrard at Villa won his first game. Dean Smith at Norwich won his first game. Ranieri's not brand new, but he won a big game against Man United. And then Eddie Howe didn't win the game, but Newcastle looked good in a 3-3 draw. So we've got 5 managers there, all with some big results.
Surprise, surprise, my team Newcastle are the ones that don't do it. It's like whenever you see stats and there's one like outlier, it's always Newcastle. It's like Harry Kane has got 1 Premier League goal this season. Who's it against? Newcastle. Always. It's awful being a Newcastle fan, honestly.
And look, we're going to have a new manager bounce possibly at Man United as well, which I'm not happy about because United have got Chelsea coming next weekend. But look, let's look at some of the teams and the increased performances we've seen, because it is a thing and it's something that as FPL managers we do look at. So probably most impressed by Gerrard at Villa if you go off the games we've just seen. Ranieri at Watford, sure, but if we're going brand new managers in, Dean Smith at Norwich, Villa, Gerrard, they're the 2 big ones. So look, Villa have got some tricky fixtures coming up, so I'm not necessarily looking straight at their targets, but I think Villa are going to be a decent side under Gerrard. Ed, you were impressed by him.
Yeah. I mean, Gerrard, it's interesting, isn't it? A lot of people maybe raising eyebrows the fact he left Rangers to come join Villa, but he's in the Premier League now. It's where he wants to end up, isn't it? He's now on the touchline against the likes of Klopp and Guardiola. You know, he can sign players. He's going to have money. You know, at Rangers, you can't sign a Danny Ings or an Ollie Watkins or a Leon Bailey. They're just not going to go there. But now he's in the Premier League, started brilliantly well, 2-0 win, didn't concede, clean sheet, everything. Yeah, I mean, really impressed. And it's exciting to see what he's going to be able to do at Villa. I quite fancied him for the Newcastle job, but we got Eddie Howe anyway.
2 players I'm bringing in this weekend are from the 5 teams we've just mentioned. So I'm bringing in Harry Kane. I'm pretty set on. And this is, of course, we don't know about injuries that might happen in Champions League and things change. But at the moment, my plan is Kane. Now, his fixtures, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich, Brighton, Leicester. That's a nice set of 5 fixtures. And to make room for Kane, I need another enabler in my team, right? Now, I'm looking at that Norwich team thinking I just need a bench player. And there's this guy who's really good, who's a Chelsea loanee, who was frozen out. He was frozen out by Farke. And on paper, he's probably Norwich's most technically gifted player. He's just a kid. And his name, of course, is Billy G. That is it. Billy Gilmore. He's playing as a number 8 in this Norwich team. He's 4.4 million. If you are looking for fodder because you need an enabler to get the likes of Kane or Son in or whoever you're targeting in the Chilwell or whatever, then someone like Billy Gilmore, he played 85 minutes yesterday. He got into some nice attacking positions. Oh, and by the way, he's on set pieces. So he even is good value for an assist every now and then. And he got an assist for Grant Hanley's header. I think it's not a bad shout. The fixtures for Norwich aren't easy, though. It's Wolves, then it's Newcastle, then it's Spurs, United, Villa, West Ham. It's not the easiest set, but if we're looking for fodder, 4.4 is the best 4.4 mid in the game. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and that's to get you to Harry Kane, is it?
Yeah, and it's just for a bit. He'll be my second sub every week, Gilmore.
Okay, fine. I mean, I've got Harry Kane already. Captained him this week, did nothing, of course. So I've got Harry Kane in for these next fixtures, and the other player that I'm looking at getting in somehow, I don't know how I'll be able to afford him, is Ronaldo with their new manager bounce, whoever it's going to be, but we'll come on to that later.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at United. Let's have a little look at Watford, because look, they've been quite impressive. Ranieri's such a good motivator. I tell you what, if Man United were looking for a guy that's won stuff in the past, that can do a job for 6 months, that gets stuff out of players, he's a motivator. Good with the press, which is important at United. You're
talking about Steve Bruce, aren't you?
I'm talking about Ranieri. Get him in. What an appointment that would have been for an interim manager. But look, Ranieri at Watford doing bits, and there's a couple of forwards who are so cheap. You look at the Watford attackers that are getting points. Well, Dennis, 5.2. Josh King, 5.6. If you are looking for another enabler up top that might be a first or second bench spot, but every now and then with a good fixture comes in, I don't think the Watford boys are that bad a shout. I mean, the fixtures aren't great, but in game week 16, they turn and they're sea of green. And there seems to be goals in that team.
I always like a player whose surname is like a first name. Dennis.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah. It's often those that are like the Brazilian heritage guys, are often really long names but shortened. Like there's a Brazilian called Anthony, and there's a Brazilian called there's others. I'm trying to think.
Jesus.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So there we go. What other teams did we say we'd touch on with new managers? Newcastle. I mean, St. Max. I just wish he was listed as a midfielder like he is in Fan Team, but in FPL he's a forward. I tell you what, Joel Linton, if you need an enabler, and under 6 million, he looked like a different man yesterday, Ed, or at the weekend, Ed.
Particularly first half. Second half, he went back a little bit to normal Joe Linton. But
that last minute where he missed the one-on-one.
Oh, so annoying. Yeah,
that's Joe Linton.
That's Joe Linton. After St. Maximin had run it the whole way up the pitch, taking on about 5 players. Honestly, St. Maximin, best dribbler in the league. So good.
He's up there.
He's gonna move on. I think actually no. Now we've got money. He'll
get an amazing contract.
Just treble his contract, keep him, and then we just need to put players around him that can do something. Now Joe Linton, not even a bad shout. I predicted on Twitter before the game. I said Joe Linton will score. I don't know why. It was just obvious that he was going to, and he did. So yeah.
I know people watch this and I can see the comments now. What is this pod talking about people like Joel Linton? Look, we're not saying these guys like Billy Gilmore and Joel Linton should be in everyone's team. I'm saying if you're looking for an enabler, a bench player to accommodate the likes of Kane, which I am going to be looking for, these bench players, then Joel Linton at 5.8, alongside the Watford guys at a similar price point, are probably the best options for those forwards under 6 million, because, Tony's 6.5, he's the best of the budget. But if you're going to go cheaper than that, Brozier's cheap but not guaranteed starts. I think Joel Linton, if he keeps playing the way he is, at least he's guaranteed starts, which is what you need, right? You just want your players playing.
Yeah, for Newcastle, there's only 3 viable options, really. Alan Saint-Maximin, who I've got in my team, got me 10 points this week, Callum Wilson, or a Joe Linton, who's going to.
And obviously, if you can afford Wilson, you go Wilson. But we're talking about a bench player here, right? So, other team with new manager, I think we've touched on pretty much all of them. We've got a couple of minutes left. This is a quick 10-minute special, guys. Let's have a little talk about United. Do we think we're going to see new manager bounce? It looks like you're going for a wee there, Ed.
No, I'm not. Sorry, carry on.
Because you could just hear like the pouring noise. But that's your bottle of wine, is it?
It is. I'm self-isolating in a room, just drinking wine and watching football, essentially.
Are we going to see new manager bounce with United if it's just an interim Carrick? Is that the same as new manager bounce? It's the same coaching team that have been coaching this team for the last year. Will we see a reaction? I'm not so sure we want to be jumping on. We're not looking to jump on Ronaldo yet. The fixtures turn in a few weeks. By then, we'll have an indication, though, Ed, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be Carrick who takes over for a little bit whilst they work on a proper interim, or whether it's going to be him forever. I mean, people are joking, aren't they? Carrick wins 3 games in a row and they'll give him a 5-year contract or something. I mean, I suppose we've got time for their fixtures to turn in 3 weeks or whatever it is. We've got time to see what's going to happen there. But like Bruno Fernandes has said on his Instagram, and he said the other day, didn't he, that it's all our fault. It's not just Solskjaer. And there is some people who seem to think like Solskjaer going is a bit of a scapegoat, really. There's deeper issues there.
Strong possibility there. And Spurs, we've kind of mentioned with Kane, like definitely we're going to see Conte with increased performances. But look, new manager bounce, it's really a thing. Like we've given so many examples from those 5 new managers. If you include the United manager, we don't quite know what we're going to see with Carrick. But you look back at the start of the season and some of the guys that were in new posts. I look at Bruno Lage at Wolves, been so impressed by them. They look really good against West Ham, 1-0 win, but played so well. Unlucky to lose some games at the start of the season. And then I look at Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira, new manager, like the honeymoon period we're talking about, like for FPL, get on the likes of, I don't know, Spurs players now or Norwich players now. But it can last for a good fair few months. You ask Patrick Vieira, you ask Bruno Lage, like some of these appointments have been really, really good. So I'm quite excited by some of the new appointments we've seen in the Premier League in the last few weeks, Ed, and think like there could be good value in these teams for the long run. Like Aston Villa, I have no doubt when their fixtures turn, the likes of Ollie Watkins or even Matt Targett and Matty Cash, the fullbacks, Danny Ings, possibly someone like Jacob Ramsey could become a really good option in midfield. Gerrard, I think, really likes him. It's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. And I mean, I suppose because there's so many new managers, they can't all do really well for ages.
Yeah.
But
hey, there'll be one that doesn't, Ed. Who will that be?
yeah, Eddie Howe probably, yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, it is exciting and it's interesting to see how it plays out over the next few weeks. And I suppose, yeah, you're right. FPL decisions, you could just jump on it and say it's going to be great, or you could say let's wait a couple of weeks and see how this is going to play out. But yeah. I'm an idiot, so I just jump on them all. So I got Kane in this week and Reguilon. Now Reguilon worked because he scored, right? But Kane was my captain and did nothing. But hey ho.
Hey, yeah, just to end, one manager that's going to do really well and one that's going to do not so well. I'll start. I'm going to go Conte for really well. And I'm going to go, as much as I like Dean Smith, and I think I'm glad to see Norwich win another game, I do think Norwich are still going to go down. And I think that honeymoon period with Dean Smith might not last for long. So I'm going to go Dean Smith, the not so well one. And I'm backing Ranieri to keep Watford up. Come on, Ranieri. And I'm going to go Conte for the one that will achieve the most, of relatively speaking, right, within that squad.
I'm going to go Gerrard, going to do well. And yeah, Dean Smith, not so well.
Poor Norwich. It's not even Dean Smith's fault. It's just you look at the team, unless he's given a huge checkbook, I can't see how they keep Norwich in the league. Fair play if he does. That's been 10 minutes, guys. We've loved chatting. Let us know in the comments if you like this video. Check out our normal 40-minute pod with Hindu Monkey. That was posted a couple of days ago. There's a quiz on there. We do that every week. But please do like this channel and do subscribe. If you don't subscribe and you're watching this right now,
pathetic.
Come along.
Right, let's
Good
go.
Chat, guys. See you later. Peace out.
Bye.